I just knew we had to start with the title theme here. Instant nostalgia. At one point in time, the Angry Birds franchise was so successful that it got its very own TV show. Well, I guess not really. I never saw this thing on Nickelodeon or something. I just watched it on the Angry Birds Toons app. Regardless, Angry Birds Toons was a way to connect with the main birds of the flock, and occasionally some of the bad piggies too. There's even a sex episode, and if you would like to only see the sex episode, I have the exact timestamp in the description, so, you know, whenever you're ready, it's there. It's waiting for you. Each episode was about 3 minutes long, and we got 3 seasons worth of episodes. If you have ever been a fan of the series, then I bet you've seen at least 1 or 2 of these. If you're like me though, you've seen all of these, multiple times probably. But it's been a while, so I say we should probably watch them all again, since we're much smarter and cooler now. I also gotta say, it's kinda crazy how well animated these episodes are. This show looks better than most of the animation I see on TV these days. I was just going to talk about Season 1, but the sex episode isn't until Season 2, and if you forgot already, the entire point of this video is to talk about the sex episode! And hey, we're already over halfway there, so we might as well just finish up Season 3 once the sex episode is over. Man, I'm gonna be so freaking sad when the sex episode is over. There are 104 episodes of the show, which honestly has Phineas and Ferb shaking in their boots right now. It also has me shaking in my boots, since that is more than double of any tier list I've done before this. It's probably going to be really rough, but we got this. We got this. Other than that, I don't have much else to introduce. I have sadly made it a tradition to list every item I will be ranking in a video, and I of course cannot back out now. I don't blame you for skipping past this section, but it'll honestly be pretty fun to hear me go crazy by the end of it. And this is like a marathon. I'm going to have to sit down for this. Okay. I gotta stop stalling. Here we go. The episodes we'll be ranking today are Chuck Time, Where's My Crown, Full Metal Chuck, Another Birthday, Egg Sounds, Pig Talent, Cordon Bleugh, True Blue, Do As I Say, Off Duty, Slingshot 101, Thunder Chuck, Gardening with Terence, Dopeys on a Rope, Trojan Egg, Double Take, Crash Test Piggies, Slappy-Go-Lucky, Sneezy Does It, Run Chuck Run, Hypno Pigs, Eggs Day Out, Gate Crasher, Hog Roast, The Bird That Cried Pig, Hamshank Redemption, Green Pig Soup, Catch of the Day, Nighty Night Terence, Piggy Wig, Pig Plot Potion, Tooth Royal, Night of the Living Pork, King of the Castle, Love is in the Air, Fired Up, Clash of Corns, A Pig's Best Friend, Slumber Mill, Jingle Yells, El Porkador, Hiccups, The Butterfly Effect, Hambo, Bird Flu, Piggies from the Deep, Oh Gnome, Shrub It In, The Truce, Operation Opera, Chucked Out, Bombs Awake. Oh my god, there's 2 more freaking laps. That was just Season 1. Gotta tough it out. Gotta keep going. Okay, Treasure Hunt, Sweets of Doom, Party Ahoy, Hide and Seek, Sink or Swim, Super Bomb, Just So, The Miracle of Life, otherwise known as the sex episode! Let me get a breather while we soak in that title card. Cave Pig, Joy to the Pigs, Dogzilla, Boulder Bro, Chuck Mania, Not Without My Helmet, Mona Lisa, Sir Bomb of Hamelot, Bearded Ambition, Cold Justice, Slow the Chuck Down, Brutal vs. Brutal, Eating Out, The Great Eggscape, Sleep Like a Hog, Bombina, Pig Obsessed, Epic Sax-Off. No, I didn't say epic sex, I said epic sax. Okay, final lap, 3rd season, let's do this. Royal Heist, Bad Hair Day, Glowly Trotters, A Fistful of Cabbage, Porkula, Didgeridork, The Pork Trait, Fix It, Age Rage, Catching the Blues, Last Tree Standing, Happy Hippie, Mind the Pony, Robo-Tilda, King of the Ring, Spaced Out, Battling Butlers, Exhaustion, Short and Special, Hocus Pocus, Romance in a Bottle, The Butler Did It, Stocked, Boda Chuck, Bacon, Toy Hoggers. More like toy poggers, am I right? That's done. Let's get started. Time to find out if these Angry Birds are good at tunes or if we ought to get out our freaking goons. Oh, and one more thing. That's right, for the first time ever we've got 6 tiers to work with. Mostly just because the tier list is going to get cramped pretty quick anyway, so we might as well have some more sections to work with. I might use F tier again in the future, but don't get used to it, got it? Alright then, it's Chuck time. There's a lot to unpack about the whole series in just this one episode, so let's start off with just the plot. Chuck accidentally pushes Red off a cliff, so he uses his power of super speed to save him. Chuck gets bored, Red nearly dies, but Chuck sacrifices himself twice for his friend. Like for real, Chuck probably should have died here. Red too, I can't imagine the dang triangle bird is a soft landing. Anyways, the other things I gotta talk about are 1. The animation. I absolutely adore the animation style of these first few episodes, and this one is no exception. 2. The music. Each episode is fully orchestrated to have the music tied to the actions of the characters. It is incredible, and of course, I hope to play some of it in the background of this video. Finally, 3. The characters. Red is a pretty important character, but I'd wager Chuck shows up more often. If you've seen my video ranking every bird in the series, you know I don't really care for him.
Shut up, past me, this is future me. It's my turn to talk. I need to explain what you're looking at here. All these stupid PNGs you're going to see through the rest of the video were not my decision. I have to do this to try to block the copyright that literally every single clip in this video is getting struck for while I'm trying to edit this. You're seeing this days before this goes up because I'm constantly re-uploading this to make sure that it does not have any copyright. So when you see any stupid little pictures of Chuck or stupid little pictures of some sexy girl in a bird costume, that's why. I did not want to do it. It was against my will. I hope you understand why I did it. Anyways, I'm going back to talking about why I maybe don't like Chuck right now. Okay, see you later.
You'll see that come into play more in the later episodes, but he's actually much more innocent here. He may be a little empty-headed, but it's clear he wants nothing more than the validation of his friend. Their voices are so iconic here, despite being brand new at the time. I don't know, it just feels like they nailed who these characters are with their voices right out the gate. In short, this episode is just classic. I've probably seen it the most out of all of them, and I've always had the same reactions. Like I see this leaf in the tub as he's filling it, and all I could think is, what about the leaf though? I feel the same as I've always felt, and that is, Chuck time is A tier. The pigs are just as important as the birds in this series, so getting an episode all about King Pig is a logical next step. I might be a little bold in saying this is probably the best King Pig episode too. Look at that, Chuck and King Pig get their greatest hits in on their first try. I'll explain why it's so great after I recap the episode. King Pig loses his crown and has to live as a pleb all day. He gets exiled by Corporal Pig, but King Pig gets his revenge once he gets his crown back. I cannot believe how genuinely beautiful and epic the scene where the garbage falls on him is. I get actual goosebumps every time I see it. The story itself just works so well. King Pig is nothing without his title, and no one likes him or respects him without it. Of course, King Pig is just as awful as always afterwards, but you really do feel bad for him when they throw him out. It's also just really amusing that he's the biggest, most weirdly shaped pig to ever exist, but without his crown the pigs are too stupid to recognize him. I don't typically prefer the pig episodes to the bird ones, but I have to say this is probably one of my favorites. That garbage scene, man. So freaking good. S tier. This is the beginning of Jerk-Ass Chuck. We get the introduction to the smug, annoying, and unbeatable Blues as well. Yes, one of the Blues may be named Jake, but he's no brother of mine. Anyways, the episode Full Metal Chuck is all about the Blues just wanting to sleep, but Chuck is forcing them to train. Despite not caring, the Blues are better than Chuck at every obstacle and finally trick him into leaving them alone. The main thing I don't like about this one is that both the protagonist and the antagonist are annoying. Scratch out, all the antagonists are annoying. Chuck is abusing his whistle and the Blues are being smug like always, and it just really bugs me. Out of the original set of episodes, this is my least favorite. However, neither party is their worst quite yet, and I do still find the episode entertaining. It goes in D, but remember, it can be worse. Wow, they're just nailing the pig episodes so far. In this one, our main minion pig tries to get anyone to notice that it's his birthday, but gets treated like dirt all day instead. At the end of the night, when all hope seems lost, his fellow minion pigs give him the attention he always wanted. I really like to imagine this sort of thing happens on a daily basis, and every day the pig thinks no one cares, only to be surprised at the end. Think about it, it's probably true. I love this episode for so many reasons. It's just so fun seeing the daily lives of these pigs. They all shoot out of the same silo in the morning. They have Minecraft trees. That makes so much sense.
Hello, young lady.
And the misbehaving pigs are left to deal with King Pig. The plot is so relatable too. I never tell anyone about my birthday, so it always feels extra special when someone remembers it. The jokes are just insanely funny. Some are so subtle, like when he looks at his friend for any kind of recognition at the end of the night, and the pig just looks in the other direction. That is just so freaking funny. I also always remember that scene with the Corporal Pig. I used to draw these episodes as comics as a kid. Yes, I was that obsessed with Angry Birds. And it was just impossible for me to translate the thing shooting into Corporal Pig's nose. Also, I know none of you know what the thing is called, and I didn't either. And apparently it's a party horn? Bad name. Good episode though. S tier. Our next episode, Egg Sounds, starts with the Blues tricking the flock into thinking their eggs can talk? Tweet? Whatever. And it leads to each bird wanting the eggs to be more like them. They overhear the Blues and get their revenge as a team. While I do like the ending, as the birds get to work together and ruin the Blues for basically the only time in this whole series, the whole plot is just kinda weird. Like, the story makes enough sense and you understand what they're going for, but these visions of what the birds look like aren't real? And what does the sound they make have to do with that? I don't know, I think the idea of the episode is just kinda hard to translate without dialogue. Again, it works, but I've always felt a little weird about it. Nothing really happens here either, even the way they scare the Blues feels really lame. I can't neglect the introduction of Matilda here, and they're surprisingly choosing the hippie route for her. I love that for Matilda, I'm just surprised they chose it right off the bat. I like this episode, but I don't love this episode, you know? It's gotta be a B. They are 3 for 3 with these pig episodes. This is just impressive at this point. It's a pig talent show, but the King Pig is bored by all 3 acts until a balloon makes a farting noise, and then everyone starts screaming and crying and farting all over the place. It's crazy. This episode certainly isn't as meaningful as the last 2 pig episodes, but I still like it. That scene with the King Pig impression is a pretty good bit. King Pig isn't even mad, he's just actually afraid of everyone laughing at him. I remember this one was impossible for me to translate into a comic. That one was a real mess. I'm still loving these pig episodes. I love farting, I love pooping, I love farting and then pooping, I love pooping and then... Okay, that was kind of deserved. I'll just say B tier and let's keep going. Wow, it took 7 episodes for the pigs and birds to actually interact with one another. From here on out, it's kind of weird to not have that happen in an episode, but either way, it's just kind of surprising, you know? James' Cordon Bleugh is a bit of a Matilda episode where everyone hates her cooking, and she gets so sad she dumps like an entire village's rations of foods onto the pigs, and they eat up the slop like the bad little piggies they are. I really love how the birds' actions hurt the pigs without them realizing it. That makes the end much more fun. The birds aren't being mean or annoying, they generally feel bad, and that makes Matilda's sadness that much more, well, sad. We don't see Matilda cook for the flock ever again, so it's safe to assume this made an irreparable tear in their family. There is definitely some crazy unspoken trauma in the Angry Birds Toons TV series. In all seriousness, it's a really cute episode. My favorite character's got to be the Fly. Rest in peace, my friend. And it's going in A tier. We are about to witness the origin story of Piggy McCool, as well as the Chef Pig, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like the first we saw of the Chef Pig in the entire Angry Birds franchise. We'll get to him, but let's go over the episode first. Chef Pig uses a minion pig disguised as a bluebird to steal the eggs, but the Blues see through their impeccable costume and beat the pigs. I don't understand how some of you out there like Piggy McCool and the Blues, considering they spent an entire episode torturing him. Like, sure, he wanted to steal their eggs, but he's Piggy McCool. He doesn't deserve this. Chef Pig is kind of the real antagonist of Angry Birds Toons. He's smart enough to make plans and actually gets close to cooking the eggs a few times. I find it really weird that he's animated differently in this episode, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. I also like that face the Blues make at the end. They're like, yeah, that's right, let's fuck him! They're like, oh yeah, this is happening. Gang bang! They're like, you thinking what I'm thinking? Sex! I like the pigs in this one, but I'm once again annoyed with the Blues. They aren't too bad here though, and I think the plot and music is actually really good. I'll say A, just don't make me regret it, Blues. They're already making me regret it by being as annoying as possible again! I get it, they're kids, they just like goofing off. Whatever, let's just recap. The Blues are disturbing Matilda and the eggs, and Matilda keeps nagging at them to quit until they shoot the eggs with a gun! Okay, it wasn't a gun, it was an arrow. Either way, a pig steals the eggs and Matilda does all the things she told the Blues not to do and has fun. I feel like the message is so weird here, like yeah, they were pretty innocently playing at first, but shooting the eggs is definitely not a good thing. Then somehow Matilda is the bad guy? I don't know, seems like the wrong message. I do kinda like the story though, I can't lie. As much as the Blues get on my nerves, I enjoyed watching them react and recreate what Matilda is doing. Well, except for this absolutely cursed scene. I refuse to believe Jake did that, that's some real gym shit right there. I somehow like and hate this episode at the same time, but I'll lean towards the lower half with C tier. Somehow this is the first Red-centric episode. Not only that, but Bomb is making his first appearance 10 episodes in? He's most people's favorite out of the main flock, so it's crazy how often he gets shafted in the Toon series. Like, look at him protecting the eggs with ice cream on his head. You can't not love that. This episode, titled Off Duty, shows what would happen if Red took a day off. The flock wouldn't take it seriously and would lose the eggs, and Red would not be able to relax without knowing the eggs are safe. Red is the mom of the eggs, and tons of episodes had that kind of dynamic for them. In the end, Red learns to loosen up, and the flock learns they need Red to protect the eggs. This is basically the good version of the episode we literally just watched. Both sides learning their lesson, and no one was annoying or anything. We even got to see the Blues get beat up. It's incredible. But really, I love everyone here. The scenes with the flock are all really funny. Even the Blues get a joke. That one is me. I'm the funny one. Got it? And I'm pretty sure Red says eggnog for the first time, and I love eggnog. I think this is exactly what I would have wanted from Toons, so it's gotta be S. Yes, the episode with the fantasy scene of the Blues dying. What do you mean they aren't dying? Okay, for real, I'm sure if you like the Blues, you're sick of me disrespecting them. I'll stop until they are really bad again, but honestly I feel like they kind of dropped the Blues after this point in the show, so it might not come up ever again. Either way, in the episode Slingshot 101, the Blues are messing around with the slingshot and disrespecting Red's authority, so Red demonstrates how to use the slingshot just as a group of pigs are stealing the eggs. Red doesn't trust the Blues with the eggs, but when he gets back he realizes the Blues are responsible and like to have fun. What is with the last 3 episodes having the exact same morals, character dynamics, and pig fights? So weird. Also, can't not mention the pig feet. I'm sorry, what is that? Whoever added these pig feet in here should feel really bad. I'd say I really just love the nightmare scene with King Pig licking all over those eggs. That's awesome. But the rest is just do as I say, again. Like to a T almost. However, I'm really sad this animation style is about to die, and you can already see it fading in like half of the scenes here. So I'll be nice and go with A. The nightmare sequence is really fun. Thunderchuck is probably Chuck's second best episode. Again, that's pretty sad, but let's at least explain why. The pigs abuse Chuck's fear of thunder to steal the eggs, but they get a little too cocky. Honestly, that scene is so funny where they laugh at Chuck, not to mention when an actual storm starts and Corporal Pig tells him to shut up. That's just really clever. So Chuck sees the pigs and overcomes his fear to save the eggs. Somehow every character but Chuck gets electrocuted, which means to me that God must not only exist in this universe, but was really angry that night. Oh, duh, we've already seen God, never mind. I really love how everything looks in this one too. Since it's at night, the colors are kind of shaded and muted. I just like it. I like the episode too. A tier blushes, smiles, blushes again. And just like that, the animation completely shifts. Terence didn't get a moment in the spotlight once in that style. That's alright, at least he's here now. I really love how they use him in Toons. So gardening with Terence is pretty much just a Looney Tunes episode. Matilda's plants can't grow with Terence in the way, so she tries to move him with some crazy antics but just ruins her garden in the process. She decides to just plant on top of Terence, and everyone seems happy. Okay, if I were her though, I would have just moved the garden behind Terence. This whole thing could have just been avoided. Still, this feels like the perfect intro to Terence. He is an unmovable, higher level being that cannot lose. I understand that may conflict with my dislikes of the Blues, but at least Terence isn't annoying while he's doing it. Plus the ending is cute. Until you remember that in the movies, Terence and Matilda get married and have children.
Anyway, Matilda and Terence are finally married! Yay! Anyway, how did it feel for you to marry them?
Let me repeat that last part. Children! How dare you, Angry Birds, make me think about that? I may want a sex episode, but that's just unnatural. Whatever, B tier. Dopeys on a Rope is about the pigs' scheme to steal the eggs Mission Impossible style. The pigs lose on all 3 attempts and are stuck in an endless loop for all of eternity. This episode is just so weird. It's probably the worst this animation style ever looks. They've almost gone too far with it or something. You all agree that Corporal Pig just looks absolutely foul now. Oh, don't take the helmet off. Don't take that off. There's a reason that thing's on there. Ugh. This episode's whole purpose is to get these pigs in this pendulum device. I feel like a lot of kids probably don't even know what that is. It's just not really a funny payoff despite the whole episode leading up to it. I don't know, everything just feels off and not really entertaining. I didn't enjoy the setup or conclusion. So does that mean? Is it time? Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else in between, history is being changed right now as I get to say for the very first time, F tier. Gotta say, that felt pretty good. Congrats Dopeys on a Rope, you sucked that hard to make history. Well done. Trojan Egg starts with Chef Pig working on his next evil scheme. What, don't leave your crown, dude! Did you learn nothing from episode 2? Whatever, the Trojan Egg fails. It's a plan so dumb only pigs would fall for it. And so they do. King Pig is getting fried, and Chef Pig realizes his plan was even better than he thought. With the throne empty, he can become the new ruler and take control once and for all. But of course, he gets squashed by the end. Man, with a name like Trojan Egg, I was not expecting much from this episode, but Chef Pig is just like the coolest villain. I can imagine 10 different incredible story arcs about Chef Pig winning, and the birds fight him in like this crazy finale battle. Chef Pig hardly ever gets the spotlight though, sadly, but it does help make moments like this really epic. I also just love how excited King Pig gets in that egg. What a guy. I wouldn't say this was S, but I was definitely pleasantly surprised. A tier. This episode is going to be really hard to explain because the gimmick is just everyone is confused the whole time. At the beginning, the Blues lose the egg, so they pretend to be the eggs to fool Matilda. Then the pigs come and fall for it as well, leaving some pigs disguised as eggs to pull off the same trick. Matilda sees right through it and beats them up, chasing after the Blues, who she still believes are the actual eggs. Meanwhile, the beat up pigs are left with the real eggs. The two groups bump into each other, leading to mass confusion, so the Blues just take the opportunity to leave and save the eggs. What's sad is Matilda just gives up and cries all the way home, and we get the very funny scene of the Blues just nonchalantly hanging out with the eggs at the end. Man, that was a very long recap. You could have just watched the episode at that point. I really don't find the Blues annoying here. Sure, they screwed up at first, but they mostly just hang out and save the eggs after that. I liked the idea, and it wasn't bad, but it certainly wasn't that special either. I think I'll go with C. Alright, you guys have to guess how this episode ends. It starts with the pigs just testing some rockets to see what plan will work to catch the pigs. Is it A, they succeed and use it on the real eggs only to fail? Is it B, none of their plans work and all the pigs go to the hospital? Or C, the plan works but they destroy the entire pig city in the process? Well, let's find out. The final crash test piggy is scared to go, but he gets the biggest rocket. He nabs the eggs, flies into space, and crashes. But he got the eggs. The fake eggs have caught on fire, they drop in an oil spill, and they destroy the entire pig city in the process. All of you who chose option C win! What's the prize? You all get to be my crash test piggies. What an honor. Anyways, this episode is like the definition of mediocre. I do like the final launch, but the entire middle part isn't really entertaining. I was never surprised or engaged with what was happening. I saw someone say this is like one of their top favorite episodes. I have no idea how that could be. It's fine, but definitely deserves a C tier. Slappy-Go-Lucky is our introduction to Mustache Pig. He's got one of my favorite new designs. The one glass eye is just a cool look for him. We also see the Professor Pig briefly, but he doesn't do a whole lot quite yet. Basically, the Mustache Pig steals an invention to take down the birds, but it malfunctions and starts spanking the King Pig. Because of course it does. I really enjoy the scene where he ejects and then falls straight into a volcano. It's just like the most random nothing joke, but it does crack me up. Another really funny joke is the destroyed machine spanking King Pig one last time. Then we are cursed again by having to look at that! Ew, don't take the mustache off, don't take that off! There's a reason that thing's on there, ugh! I really just don't like the part where he's getting spanked. It's a dumb resolution that really has no business being in the episode. It has some funny jokes though, so it can go and B. It's so weird to call this one Sneezy Does It. The whole time you're waiting for a sneeze to ruin everything, but trying not to sneeze is what creates the problem. The story is also just like nothing again. One pig is way too excited for King Pig's parade and knocks him over. The clip of King Pig bursting into tears is really funny though. The pig then has to carry the throne all the way up to the castle, but this crazy bee tries to make him sneeze. He swallows the bee gets pissed and stings him, and King Pig gets thrown down the steps. Sneezy gets executed, and it ends. Favorite character's gotta be the bee, bro. You're probably all thinking now that the episode is gonna get a B too, huh? Not really, it sucked very hard. King Pig crying is keeping you out of the danger zone. D tier. Finally, it felt like we were in a real rut there. This is one of my all-time favorite episodes of the show. The whole flock is here for a race, which Chuck intends to win. Jerk-ass Chuck is in full force here, but he has one strong competitor, Terence. This is the episode that demonstrates Terence's godlike abilities. One of my favorite scenes of all time is Chuck looking over his shoulder 3 times, and on the 3rd time, Terence is looming directly over him. Every scene afterwards is just so entertaining too. Of course, Terence wins the race and Chuck gets trampled and loses. Even on the podium, Chuck gets beat up. I love to see jerk-ass Chuck lose and Terence win. Chuck's ego never goes back down after this episode, so rewatching this one just makes you really happy. In terms of the actual content of the episode, there are a bunch of unique locations, each bird gets a little moment to shine, and of course, Terence steals the show. I love it. This just has to be S, and let's hope the next few episodes are just as good. In this episode, the pigs successfully hypnotize Red, but instead of taking the eggs and leaving, they take it too far and have fun messing with Red all day. They shoot him out of a slingshot, but he bounces back and saves the eggs just in time. Red wakes up confused, only to come across a picture showing what he'd just been through. That look he has really makes for a funny conclusion. I think this is just a really great episode. I love all the ways the pigs mess with Red, and the ending just worked really well. Now, I'm not saying that you should go do this to someone you hate. Don't hypnotize your friends, that's uncool. But hypnotizing Red? Pretty funny stuff. A tier. This is basically 2 minutes of Red's voice actor just making really funny noises. I love this episode for that alone. The beginning is just really funny too. Red is so angry at this leaf, he just turns it to dust. But the commotion sends an egg off a cliff towards Pig City. The rest of the episode shows Red chasing the egg down and bringing it home. The ending is my favorite part, where we see another leaf fall down and then the credits reveal this never-ending cycle. It's just a great episode. Getting a glimpse at the day-to-day lives of the pigs is always fun, and Red is just a really entertaining character to watch. Don't think I didn't notice that the last episode showed Red in a dress, and this one has him in a bra. Something weird is going on over there at Rovio. I'm on to you. This episode is really good, but not quite top tier. A tier. This is Chuck versus a door, the ultimate showdown. Chuck tries his best to break through a door with some kooky slapstick, but Red comes by and walks through the open door just beside it. Chuck launches at top speed just as the door opens, destroying the fortress entirely. On their way out, the door closes, and Chuck is left to face his true nemesis once again. Okay, whoever is coming up with the last group of episodes has really upped their game from the previous group. Every joke is funny, and the conclusion feels like the perfect ending for what they set up. All the characters are really entertaining, even Chuck. I totally forgot the Slingshot part of this episode where he says, no, 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 no. I used to say that all the time. I love how he says it. This is your third A tier in a row, Angry Birds Toons. Keep it up. What the heck? This episode is great too. Just a bunch of firefighter pigs being horrible at their jobs. What starts as a tiny grill fire leads to the entire city being burned down. My favorite part has got to be the pig on fire chasing the others through the house. Just completely unaware of what he's causing, but still confused why the others are running away from him. It's just the perfect joke. The music is really great too, especially in the transition from black and white to full color. The ending is a little less chaotic and maybe a little less entertaining than the rest of the episode, but what I like about it is that the pigs don't really care, as long as they get to share some good food together. This was a great episode. It feels weird to do this again, but I really do think this deserves A tier. In The Bird That Cried Pig, Chuck is jealous of Bomb being everyone's favorite, so he steals the eggs and pretends they've gone missing. However, pigs actually do take the eggs, so Chuck heroically saves them, brings them back for his moment in the spotlight, but trips and drops the eggs in front of Bomb. I just love how he genuinely thinks he's found the eggs after looking under a tiny rock to see if they were under there. Bomb is just a really funny character in the Toon series. I also really don't mind Chuck here, despite the tiptoeing scene being absolutely cursed. I wouldn't say this is on the same level as the last few, but it's definitely not bad. B tier. Man, I cannot figure out what this episode is referencing. They should have been more obvious about it, because I really just am at a complete loss. Like, give me some sort of hint. Anyways, Hamshank Redemption focuses on the prisoner pig attempting to escape. Every plan he makes fails, including a cameo from Terence. Finally, with the help of this buff pig propeller hat, he flies to freedom. Oh, it's E.T. That's what movie they were referencing. Anyways, Hamshank Redemption is pretty bland. I like the design of the prisoner pig, but none of his attempts to escape are really that interesting. There's no fun takes on the prisoner break genre. It's kind of just what you typically expect. The propeller hat is just dumb too. I don't even know why the buff pig would have that. It's honestly a D tier. I'm sorry if you like it, but it has almost nothing to do with E.T., so... Angry Birds Toons developed some sort of weird obsession with cabbage, and it all stems from this episode. 3 pigs disguise themselves as cabbage to steal the eggs, but Matilda just so happens to be using cabbage in her soup. After one pig ditches his costume for a pumpkin, Matilda catches on and saves the day. I do really like seeing Matilda lose her marbles, but otherwise this episode just kinda sucks. I don't like cabbage, nothing really happens, and the ending is not a funny conclusion to the episode. Maybe it should have ended with her trying to feed the soup to the flock, but they bite into a pig or something. At least I'd be entertained by that. This was bad. Real bad. So we get to do this again. F tier! Catch of the Day features another story about the pigs trying to steal the eggs, but this time they're using a plunger to reel them in. The Blues catch on and begin attaching a bunch of trash to the plunger instead. We even see a Mighty Dragon reference at one point. Finally, Corporal Pig gets so frustrated he uses a giant plunger only to bring back Terence. The question is, how is that boat possibly strong enough to pull Terence? He must have let them do it, there's no other explanation. Maybe Terence just wanted a chance to put on the helmet. I love that. I also feel like seeing all this dilapidated earthly items like cars or furniture should open up some questions about a post-apocalyptic setting. This is some crazy Adventure Time shish going on right here. Anyway, it's not a bad episode, but nothing too crazy either. C tier. Back-to-back Terence episodes? You're just too kind, Angry Birds. Once again, Corporal Pig and some minion pigs attempt to steal the eggs, but they are guarded by Terence. I love seeing him sleep directly on his face, that's just really funny to me. They must get to the eggs without waking him up, but Terence rolls towards a cliff and they must rock him back and forth and sing him a lullaby to keep him asleep and not fall off the cliff. It becomes pretty clear Terence is just messing with them, despite the eggs being in a pretty bad place by the end of the episode. My favorite scene is when the plungers are all shooting off of Terence as he rolls forward. That's just a fun idea. I think the end is dumb, but otherwise it's a perfectly good episode. B tier. Oh boy, Piggy Wig, the most plot important and crucial episode to the entire Toon series, where King Pig has to wear a wig now. Except he can't decide on what to wear until one of the Blues, definitely Jake, this is a total Jake move right here, lands on his head and becomes his new wig. Jake makes fun of him, but King Pig finally notices and makes him look like a part of their meal just as the other Blues arrive. They destroy the party and King Pig laughs at all the stupid looking pigs. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really enjoyed Piggy Wiggy. It's just a funny premise, even the Blues were really enjoyable here. I did not think I made a good wig, but I guess I ain't no piggy. It is certainly not S, but I liked it enough to say A. Alright, Chef Pig is back. His newest invention can turn anything into a pig, so he uses it on Red. Jeez, Pig Red is absolutely cursed. The two bring the eggs back to be cooked, and Chef Pig and Pig Red are really becoming good friends, but the potion starts to wear off, and before Chef Pig can make a new one, Red is back and pissed. The Chef Pig's potion backfires, and he becomes some stupid abomination. I cannot believe this, but somehow if Chef Pig shows up in your episode, it is great! I think the animation here is also just really well done. That opening scene with all the potions just looks really nice. I love the episode, and I think it's time we introduce the Chef Pig and my new buddy Pig Red to S tier. And back to King Pig antics. His big ol' rotten tooth won't come out, so the pigs try every trick in the book. Their last idea is to get beat up by the Angry Birds themselves, and the tooth finally comes out, as well as the rest of them. The gag where every pig is losing a tooth except for King Pig is just really funny. There's a scene where teeth are just flying everywhere, yet King Pig's is still holding on for dear life. It's a fine little episode, but certainly doesn't compare to most. B tier. Man, I just know the inflation-loving homies out there are going nuts right now. The start of our Halloween tradition of Bubbles exclusive episodes begins. I am so happy Bubbles got to join the flock, even if it is just for the holiday. It would have been so cool to see Stella or Hal get added too, but we should probably be happy we got something at all here. We see King Pig sitting on his mountain of candy. When a trick-or-treater shows up, he keeps the candy to himself, but it turns out to be a zombie pig. Hamby? Zombacon? Anyways, the candy is being eaten in record time until none other than Bubbles shows up, looking for some treats. He beats up all the zombies, but they call in a whole horde, so Bubbles has no choice but to please all the inflation lovers in the crowd and leave with a bag full of candy. He does feel bad for King Pig, but he really got what he deserved. This episode isn't mind-blowing or anything, but I can't hate an episode that features Bubbles. Well, not yet anyway. It's got some good moments, and I got my inflation fix for now, so I'll give it an A. Whoa, Chef Pig already? I freaking love you, Angry Birds! At first I was a little sad since this isn't a big scheme to take over the kingdom or finally cook the eggs, but I kept watching, very hopeful. It's a classic sandcastle contest where each side keeps one-upping the other. King Pig's final castle is a masterpiece. It's better than the actual castle he lives in. But the day ends with a massive tidal wave, sending both out to sea. King Pig is sad but notices he's caught a fish, but Chef Pig caught a bigger one. And the rivalry continues. I gotta say, that final scene with the giant whale coming out at the end of it is just one of my favorite scenes in the show so far. I might just also love sandcastle episodes. I remember the one in SpongeBob being a favorite of mine too. But this was a pretty great episode. Do I like it as much as Chef Pig's last episode? Yeah, I really think I do. S tier, again! This is actually crazy. I cannot believe the streak Chef Pig has right now. Alright, we just had a really great episode, so it makes perfect sense to move on to Love is in the Air. I told you they had this weird obsession with cabbages. Hold on though. Shut up! You have to watch this cabbage turn into a girl pig. Oh my god. I need to go change my pants. Oh my god. King Pig is in love with the cabbage, and everyone makes fun of him for it. But then he proposes, and it's really funny to see them shift from laughing to crying tears of joy. They get married, and we get a brief cameo of the Chancellor Pig as the priest. At the reception, Corporal Pig knocks King Pig out of it, and he immediately just starts eating his wife. I don't care who you are, that's funny. Plus we get Hot Corporal Pig at the end, so that was friggin' sweet too. I really didn't expect to enjoy this at all, but the reactions of the pigs, the freaking sexy cabbage, and the overall story were just really enjoyable. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Love is in the Air, the episode where King Pig falls in love with the cabbage and then eats it, is S tier. It's just S tier, okay? It just is. Deal with it. I'm real fired up after that sexy pig, which is a great coincidence considering this episode is none other than fired up. But wait, Nani? The old Toons animation style? How is this possible? Well, I think what must have happened is that this episode was being worked on while the season was airing. They must have made the decision to switch animation styles while this was being made, so it still got made. Basically, the episode was made in early production and got shifted to episode 36 somehow. Whatever, I'm pretty happy about it. The eggs are freezing, so Chuck attempts to warm them up, but does a bad job. Matilda comes in with a blanket, making Chuck jealous. He uses a magnifying glass to speed up the process, but creates a massive fire that weirdly becomes personified and chases around the flock. Chuck finally covers up the magnifying glass and is punished by crocheting a new one. This episode was not that great. Don't get me wrong, I love the style, but it feels really out of place among the other episodes we've been seeing. While I really love this first few episodes, I've come to appreciate the change of story structures and animation too. This wasn't bad, but it isn't better than C tier. Our first bomb-centric episode is a Clash of Clans joke. Well, I guess just the title is based on Clash of Clans, but just stop disrespecting Bomb, okay? He deserves better than that. Clash of Corn shows Bomb in the most pure form. He wants nothing more than to eat a cob of corn. Matilda's taking care of it though and refuses to let him. He tries to trick her multiple times, and I just love when he comes out in this bee costume, putting his whole heart into it, but Matilda is just pissed. She shoots at him until he cowers in fear, and the symbolism with the peace-symboled sight is super clever. Matilda gives in, Bomb gets so excited he blows up, and they enjoy the popcorn together. He even kisses her at the end, which I hope isn't supposed to be like shipping bait or something. It's a cute episode, and it does a good job at making me hungry for corn somehow. It just looks so dang good. I don't know, I just enjoyed it. A tier is so bloated, but come on, this was a good one. Okay, this bluebird is so cute, it has to be Jake this time. There ain't no way Jay is this cute, and don't even get me started on Jim. King Pig receives Jake as a gift and pretends to enjoy his company. Meanwhile, Jake bullies King Pig until he eventually runs away. King Pig is so sad about this that the pigs all dress up as pets for him in the end. This one is also just fine. I do really like the happy montage of them playing together, and who could forget Mustache Pig's awesome dog costume. Plus King Pig's coochie coochie coo voice. But yeah, just a fine episode. B tier. Oh, sorry guys, didn't see you there. Yeah, I just watched the episode Slumber Mill. I nearly fell asleep, but thankfully the episode ended just before I could. This poor little piggy gets a road built directly over his house so he can't sleep. Finally, he uses this to his advantage and will never have to cut another piece of wood a day in his life. His invention makes no sense, by the way. How is he getting more trees in there? He'd have to be cutting them down, but the axe is being used. Dumb, makes no sense, and if I want anything from my Angry Birds cartoon series, it's logic. D tier. I've never been a huge fan of Christmas episodes, so sorry in advance. The Blues are getting excited for Santa, but meet Corporal Pig in disguise instead. They beat him up and launch him into King Pig's stocking. Their sleigh looks like a giant egg. The end. Also, Santa exists in the Angry Birds universe, I guess? I don't know if he's a pig or a human or what, but I don't like it. Go ahead, call me a Scrooge. Go on, you can call me a Scrooge in the comments all you want, but it's not going to get your silly little Christmas episode out of D tier. I remember they just decided to make El Porkador a character when this came out. He was in Angry Birds Friends, and I'm pretty sure he appears in Toons again at some point. It's also hard to ignore the strange mix of animation styles here, which looks pretty dang awful. El Porkador is a new really fat pig that sings and sounds like Josh Gad. Like he isn't some crazy powerful new enemy, he can't even move on his own. Either way, he beats every bird until he's up against none other than Terence. Well, when Terence shows up, you can start digging your greatest people. El Porkador loses and somehow destroys all of Pig City. Do not take a drink every time Pig City gets destroyed if you want to be able to see straight. In the end, there isn't anything wrong with this episode, other than the animation of course, but let's just say I won't be watching that one ever again. D tier. The Blues have gotten the hiccups! This is totally Jim's fault, dude. Classic freaking Jim right there. At first, it's cute until the flock can't get any sleep, so they try to scare them out of the Blues, with Matilda getting them to stop. Except, oh no, it's an epidemic! Finally, an episode where they acknowledge how annoying the Blues can be. This is totally something a group of kids would do, so the story works, but it's really not that entertaining. It feels like this is the same kind of story as Tooth Royal, but focused on the Blues rather than the pigs. Tooth Royal took it to the extreme though, and that's what made such a simple premise so entertaining. Here, they just try scaring the Blues a couple times, none of which actually being that interesting. It's an okay episode, but I don't think it even compares to the stuff I haven't seen. You may have noticed D tier getting some attention now. Let's hope Toons can get it together. Butterflies show up weirdly often in the Toons series, so yeah, we should probably give them a focus episode while Bomb continues to only have one. To be fair, it's definitely more of a Matilda episode, and oh dear god, no. The El Porkador animation style is back. Well, it was fun ranking the Toons. I hope you enjoyed. Jake, you can't quit now. Have you forgotten about the sex episode? You're so right, me. The sex episode has almost arrived at my doorstep. We can get through this. Easy. A stupid butterfly is cooling Matilda down, so the stupid pigs make a stupid fake butterfly that Matilda is stupid enough to fall for, despite the stupidly made butterfly falling apart right in front of her. Actually, that's pretty funny. But the stupid butterfly tries to wake up Matilda, and we all know how stupid Corporal Pig is, so he hits the mini pig stupid until Matilda beats them up and makes them generate wind for her. I think you can all tell that I think this episode is dumb. F tier. Hey you! Yeah, I'm talking to that one guy that likes Hambo just a little too much. This one's for you. They're training to look for the ultimate warrior with these egg-shaped rocks, and no one's better than the Peter Griffin pig. You cannot tell me that this doesn't look like a Family Guy cutaway gag right now. Hey Lois, remember the time I was Hambo? Oh yeah, that was freaking sweet. He goes out on his mission, and he seems to have successfully gotten an egg. But here was when I remembered the hilarious ending where he brings home a rock instead of the egg. That's just such a funny, stupid way to end the episode. Hambo celebrates his victory, and the episode ends. Alright, weird guy who loves Hambo, I finally get it. We have one thing in common now. Funny episode. At the end. The rest sucked. He does look like Peter Griffin though. B tier. Why is it animated like crap again? The birds all get sick, and the pigs steal the eggs, and then they get sick, and then King Pig gets the closest he's ever gotten to eating them, but just doesn't for no reason, and then they get sick and it ends. It sucked, and I would like to move on now. F tier. Okay, clearly there are more episodes animated like this than I'd remembered, so I promised to quit complaining about it. Besides, I think it works better for the pigs anyways. Not to mention the fun story here. Some prankster pigs dress up as sharks to scare Mustache Pig and a community pool, but when Mustache Pig comes back for revenge, an angry mob is waiting to catch the prankster. There are a few curse things here like El Porkador's son, and the pig's tail's going straight up. If I showed you this image with no context, what would you think? Go on, in the comments, what does this look like to you? So sure, this was a silly episode, but it's still going in C tier. Oh, Gnome is the name of the episode. It's a classic cursed doll situation where she can't get rid of it. Plus, Chuck thinks it was a good gift, so when it finally gets burned alive, he takes its place. The ending is fun, but the rest is pretty cliche, which isn't always a bad thing, but it kind of is here. Not much else to say, D tier. Now, I know the name Shrub It In sounds like it could be the title of a sex episode, but sadly there's no sex to be had here. Stop teasing me, Angry Birds, and let's stop shrubbing yourselves off and talk about the episode, shall we? Wow, it's another Bomb episode. This time he's paired up with the Blues, which actually makes a lot of sense. They accidentally destroy Matilda's rosebush, and the only other one around is the one in Pig City. So, the Blues distract Matilda while Bomb gets the bush. My favorite gag in the episode is when this pig holds the door open for Bomb, but he just blows up the other door instead. They make it just in time, with an extra pig to spare. I really enjoyed this one, and maybe that's just because we've had some stinkers for a while. And no, I don't mean Stinky Steve, sadly. So I'm going with A. Chef Pig is back! Chef Pig is back! Can he keep up a streak? Time to find out. In The Truce, Chef Pig offers the birds a picnic while some pigs attempt to steal the eggs. It's fun seeing Chef Pig actually using his chef skills for once. Of course, the plan fails pretty horribly, honestly. Like, Chef Pig just did a horrible job here. The birds prank the pigs by sending Chef Pig dressed up as a bird, and the episode ends. Hey Hambo guy? I thought you might want to see this. You're welcome. I really like the concept for this episode where the pigs fake a truce, but there's no way this is S material. Or A material even. It just doesn't hold up to Chef Pig's other episodes so far. I didn't dislike it, but we gotta hold Chef Pig accountable for his episodes. I still think he make for the best episodes of the show, but this one was just a B tier. I don't like opera, so it should come as no surprise that Operation Opera is not my cup of tea. The pigs attempt to woo Matilda with a singing bird robot, but the pig singer passes out and Mustache Pig just can't sing. They also hold an opera at the end where we see Mustache Pig as a sexy Viking again. Twice now these writers have worked their little fetishes into my Angry Birds Toons. Well, I'm sick of it. F tier. In Chucked Out, Chuck is just being his typical self but almost kills the eggs in the process. He runs away and nobody cares. He's gone so long he grows a long gray beard and nobody gives a crap. Only after the pigs tab the flock can Chuck prove himself and earn the respect of his friends. So I hate Chuck, but even I feel bad for you after this one. Like, those are some bad friends you got there, Chuck. Maybe you're better off hanging out with the other outcasts like Stella, Bubbles, and Hal. Honestly, what a cool episode idea. Chuck runs away from home and lives with Stella, Bubbles, and Hal, but they're too weird even for him? I'd love that. Anyways, D tier. As the finale of Season 1, the episode Bomb's Awake is pretty much the exact opposite of that. Bomb is sleepwalking, and if he is even slightly disturbed, he blows up. The Blues find this funny until Bomb grabs the eggs. They protect him until morning, and that's kinda it. What an incredible season finale! But really, get used to Toons not really having premieres or finales. I think The Truce would have been a better final episode, but I suppose this is fine. I didn't really enjoy the episode, but let's end as positively as we can with a C tier ranking. Guess what? Not only have we reached the end of Season 1, but we are officially halfway through the entire series. The tier list is really all over the place. Of course, we've seen the middle sections are the most populated, but we've seen the best of the best and the worst of the worst too. I'm going to do a fresh tier list for each season, but I'll combine them after each one so you can still see how they compare. Hopefully that way you can still read the titles of each one without them being cramped into these little sections too much. Alright, let's see how things have changed in Season 2.
I know what you've all been thinking. Let's say it at the same time. I can't wait for Hambo to come back. What, you didn't say it? You feel stupid saying the word Hambo out loud? Okay, I can't really blame you. I hear it now. Well, at least that one guy is happy. This episode features Hambo and some fellow pigs following a treasure map to a mysterious X mark. After a few Indiana Jones references, they reach their destination and bring home their prize. And I'm pretty sure if you remember Hambo's debut, you can see where this is going. He brings home the X. This time everyone else is on the same page as him though, so that's good. I do think this works really nice as a premiere. It's a pretty grand adventure with a bunch of locations we've never seen before, plus a pretty funny joke that hasn't gotten old. Yet. Just don't do it a third time, alright Angry Birds Toons? Alright, good. Now let's be nice and start with a solid A tier. Halloween ep right out the gates? Angry Birds, you're too kind. Sweet even. In the episode Sweets of Doom, King Pig and Bubbles fight over the last piece of candy until they discover a cursed green tray of sweets that turns King Pig into a giant kraken. Everyone eats it and becomes a tentacle monster, and even Bubbles can't resist the temptation. So inflation wasn't enough for you, was it, Bubbles? You had to corner the tentacle market too. Can't say I'm complaining though. Also, sexy biking pig again? Who keeps letting these people make cartoons? This episode is honestly just weird. I always love seeing Bubbles though, so I'll keep it in C. There's a party ahoy, but King Pig can't get to the island it's being held on. Mustache Pig builds him a few boats, but each crash, so King Pig attempts to swim there himself, only to reach the wrong island. He feels defeated, but then a volcano erupts on the party island, killing everyone on it. King Pig decides to stay on the chill tea island with the smart pigs instead. I don't dislike this episode, but it's pretty forgettable. Let's have a moment of silence for those who either burned or drowned on the party island. C tier! Wow, I actually think this is a great Chuck episode. Chuck and the Blues are playing a game of hide and seek, and Chuck is boasting about how much better he is than them. The Blues are clearly sick of him, but are good sports and playing along. Chuck finds the ultimate spot, but it's also pretty dangerous. He gets boiled alive and shot out of the top, which makes it look like he was hiding on the moon. The Blues praise him and he collapses, happy, but in immense pain. I feel like getting stuck in that tree is one of my biggest fears. It generally makes me scared when the rain starts coming in. The sun and fire starting is a really funny clip out of context. Even the ending is really fun. The Blues are just so impressed that Chuck hit on the moon. Too bad he didn't come back purple, that would have been freaking sweet. I liked it, A tier. The season 2 title cards are so awesome, just look at this one. Red just can't figure out how to swim. It isn't until the pigs steal the eggs that Red overcomes the odds and saves the day. It's a cute episode and it's nice to see Red be okay with it by the end. Other than that, the 2 minutes are filled with Red just sinking over and over again. Middle of the road, B tier. For the first time ever, Bomb is not co-hosting, he's not a side character, he is the star of the show! 58 episodes, people. How is that even possible? Super Bomb is all about Bomb trying to be a superhero like in his comic books. He gets a cape and has fun saving inanimate objects, but then the pigs show up. The cape stops him from being able to help. I guess Edna Mode was onto something. And while Bomb is able to save the eggs, the cape is destroyed. The flock sews it into a hammock for him to read his comic books in. This is just a nice episode. Smiles, A tier, smiles more. I don't mean to alarm you, but the next episode is the sex episode. I'm not freaking out, you're freaking out. I'm a little distracted here, but let's try to get through this quick, come on. Red not only has trouble swimming, but he's an OCD freak too. What bugs me is he'll cut a weed to make the yard look nicer, but the stem is still sticking up way past all the other grass. Somehow the episode, where everything needs to be just so, is annoyingly imperfect. Either way, the pigs take advantage of this, but Red catches on and tortures them by forcing the pigs to become his personal fountain. Just a weird, poorly executed episode. I don't hate it, but it's definitely going in D tier. Besides, we don't have time! I'm freaking out! You either skipped to this part, or you've been along for this journey right beside me. No matter what you did, the wait is over! I present to you the one and only sex episode. Or as its more official title, The Miracle of Life. I don't care if you've heard of the Birds of the Bees, I don't care if you looked up NSFW shipping pics of Red and Chuck. Nothing can prepare you for this. The episode starts pretty casually, no sex in sight, but Red and Chuck are kidnapped. Mustache Pig tries to explain to them how sex works, but the two virgins don't get it, so he shows them a video. Honestly, I'm really thankful Angry Birds Toons showed me this. I didn't really get how it worked either, but I gotta say, this method works like a charm. I can't even count the amount of children or sex I've had since. Now that the birds know how to have sex, they work towards getting an egg to trick the pigs. But, well, there's no way to explain this clip. I really think it's better if we just watch it together. I gotta ask, if you watched this when you were a kid, did it make sense to you? Did you understand what this episode was at all, or were you left confused? The thing is, I sadly knew about sex from way too young of an age, but I still just did not get this episode. The idea for it makes sense on paper, but this is a freaking kid show. What are you, I mean a good, yes, me like sex, this episode ends with the pigs locked up, and this is honestly what makes this episode S tier. The freaking minion pig flirts with Mustache Pig, and we're left to assume these pigs freaking had a threesome in that cage. Chuck is also one of the awesome stars of the episode. He leaves here fully believing that he just had sex for the first time and has made a child of his own. I guess that begs the question, just whose eggs are the eggs they're protecting? It's gotta be one of the flock, right? And I'm pretty sure Matilda is the only girl? So then who's the father? In the movie it was Terence, so that's my headcanon. If you had questions about where this was going, I guess it's time to explain what the S stands for in the tier lists. Come on, get in real close, I'll tell ya. It's sex. S tier. It's sex. S tier! Nothing matters anymore. This sex episode has passed and we still have 40 more episodes. Who cares about K-Pig? There's not even any sex in this episode. Sigh. The pigs find a frozen K-Pig that looks like an ancestor of King Pig and... What? Chef Pig is in this one? Things just got serious. He's got quite the reputation so far, so don't mess this up, dude. The K-Pig breaks free and King Pig doesn't want to eat any of his food. Chef Pig plans to make the K-Pig jump into the ice, but King Pig's gluttony messes it up and they get frozen instead. So predictable. How dare you, Angry Birds Toons, not only try to follow up the sex episode, but drag my man Chef Pig down with you. Disgraceful. This episode was fine, but this cannot be excused. You have soiled Chef Pig's streak. I hope you're happy with yourself. D tier. Great, another Christmas episode. Remember how Santa was teased in the last one? Well, on Joy to the Pigs, Santa's identity is revealed? Any guesses? If you guessed anything other than Terence, you should feel ashamed. That's right, Terence is Santa. And for all the pigs who constantly are scheming to steal the birds' eggs, they get presents as if they're little angels. Meanwhile, King Pig is being more of a brat than usual, so he's denied a gift. King Pig makes the only act of kindness he's ever made, and that's good enough to get a little dog at the end. Now, I would have been pissed about this, but heads up, our next episode is Dogzilla. And I think Terence might have just been releasing the spawn of Satan rather than giving a gift. It's an alright episode. I liked it enough. I think I'm just still recovering from the no more sex thing. C tier. Since when does Toons have continuity? I can't believe what I'm seeing. And for a good reason too. Because despite this pink dog literally showing up in the last episode, this one simply washes ashore. Just disappointing, Angry Birds. The pink dog toy has become Dogzilla, terrorizing all of Pig City. King Pig hides in Corporal Pig's house, and together they send an airstrike down on it. Dogzilla infiltrates their home, and they destroy all of Pig City. Thankfully, the commotion has put Dogzilla on its back, so the pigs can send it out to sea. Until, and I kid you not, they hit an actual Godzilla. Who decided Godzilla should be part of the Angry Birds lore? Should I be ranking him in my Every Angry Birds Bird series? That's just insane. The episode is humorous, but still C tier. In Boulder Bro, Chuck becomes so lonely he makes his own plank from Ed, Edd, and Eddy. The Blues mess with him but accidentally kill the bro, so they sacrifice themselves to save Boulder Bro. The Blues feeling remorse? If only they did that in a good episode. Yeah, sorry, but this one sucked too. The ending is really bad where they imply Chuck messes with the Blues, and it's just not funny. The episode was sad, weird, and just plain boring. I think it's F tier. I really do. Mustache Pig uses Chuck's ego to steal the eggs. If a bunch of pigs pretend to be his fans, they can distract him long enough to get the eggs cooked. What really makes this episode for me is that the pigs aren't really pretending. They've all just decided they are Chuck's biggest fans. Even King Pig is in the crowd. When Red comes to save the day, the pigs all switch sides and become Red's biggest fans. The episode should have ended there, but instead they bring the episode down a tier or two by having the worst, most unfunny final quote-unquote funny ending. The middle part is great, it's a funny concept, but even then it doesn't feel like it went as far as it could have. I want to see the paparazzi getting up in his face, adoring fans stalking him and making him uncomfortable. Maybe the end is that Chuck gets sick of the glory after wanting nothing more for 64 episodes. But oh no, Angry Birds didn't ask for my input when they made this episode. Well, I won't ask for theirs when I put this sucker in B. Man, I've been waiting since the 14th episode to see Corporal Pig without his helmet again. Not! What the freak did I say? Don't take it off! Oh! Oh, thank God. Thank the holy Lord they made a whole episode about it. This episode is crazy because it does a few things I love and a few things I really hate. For starters, it is the exact same idea as Where's My Crown, except Corporal Pig is the main character. No one respects him without the thing he wears on his head, and he isn't taken seriously anymore. While it's time to do the same thing twice, I do like how low he reaches, being denied an invitation to a birthday party and drowning in soup. But he becomes so determined to regain his former glory that he fights to get his helmet back, and leaves the eggs. Now, the fight is dumb. Obviously, if it was so easy to get the eggs that you just had to jump once, then those babies would be fried by now. Would have been a stronger message to see him take down like 3 birds or something. However, him leaving the eggs totally makes sense. Think about it. This episode shows that Corporal Pig just wants to be a corporal. If they succeeded in stealing the eggs, then what? The fight is over, Corporal Pig has no purpose, and his title has no meaning. It's a fun idea despite it never really being used in other episodes, and even here I'm grasping at straws a bit. Good thing I've convinced myself. B tier. Angry Birds decided to mock people with a lisp in the episode Mona Letha. Chuck's relationship with Boulder Bro has clearly elevated since the last time we saw them. Maybe there's a chance for a second sex episode after all. Chuck tries to be the waiter and the guy on the date, but kinda just sets everything on fire and murders Boulder Bro. He realizes, just like Loki, that the only person he should be attracted to is himself. I do find the waiter's look of disapproval to be pretty funny. And yeah, Chuck's loneliness evolving to dating his Boulder Bro and eventually himself is pretty fun. And can you blame him? Both of these ladies are making me a Boulder Bro right now. I'm so sorry, I'm so freaking sorry. I really need to learn to live, laugh, love more often. They're just so hot. A tier. Sorry for saying Hamlet in the intro. What I meant to say was Sir Bomb of Hamelot. Bomb enters a pig jousting contest as the Black Knight. And no, that's not racist. He's up against the buff pig from Hamshank Redemption. They both keep eyeing up the first place prize, which is really weird to me. Are they expecting like a princess or something? Just really weird vibes. This is kind of more or less confirmed when the prize is a statue of King Pig, and they both commit no life fee so they don't have to deal with it. I guess this really was like Hamlet. A 2 buff pig. Just really weird vibes here. The buff pig has like a crazy juicy ass for no reason. So with that in mind, C. Don't get your hopes up. Yes, this is the 69th episode, and no, they don't celebrate it by doing sex again. Trust me, I rewatched it 3 times just to make sure I didn't miss any sex. What I did see was a whole lot of bearded ambition. After Piggy Wig, I half expected King Pig to wear a bird on his chin. Instead, Professor Pig makes him a potion to grow a super long beard, but it causes more trouble than anything. I love that every pig now has some sort of facial hair, because of course they do. Now they have to rewrite history and cover up every beard from the past. Hold up, is that juicy ass? Maybe the 69th episode is sexual. What sucks is they don't show all the pigs with their juicy new asses. Like, why wasn't that the subject of the episode? Come on, butt cheek ambition? It was right there, people. We can only dream. This episode made me laugh, but wasn't very good story-wise. B tier. Matilda's dream that she has been going on and on about for 70 episodes is to play hockey. What, you guys didn't pick up on that? So she becomes cold justice and disguises herself as a pig to get into the game. She's a big fan of this Afro pig who gets beat up by the cheeked up buff pig. So Matilda gets out there and wins the game for her team. I like a couple of the jokes in here, but I was yawning the whole time. No ass cheeks to be seen. D tier. Oh my god, look at the title. Angry Birds said the fuck word? So Matilda wants Chuck to slow the Chuck down. Oh, sorry, my bad, Angry Birds. Slow the fuck down. Sorry about that. So Chuck slows way the fuck down. He's laughing. The eggs are being boiled and he's laughing. He finally goes to save the eggs and shows that he's learned nothing at all and was a huge dick about it. I mean, him big jerk-ass Chuck was the only entertaining part of the episode, but that doesn't make me like it. Just for that, I'm gonna make you guys watch Chuck plant this flower for as long as I had to. Had enough yet? I thought so. Now would you slow the Chuck down already? D tier. Chuck messes with the wrong pig, so they both train montage style for their big fight. Only they might have trained a little too hard. They're so tired they both lose, but enjoy watching the audience freak out about it. You know what I enjoy watching? Them cheeks! There's like an uncomfortable amount of buff pig's buns in this one, so here's your own little montage of every booty scene. Also, you're not going to believe this, but now there is continuity? Freaking none other than Dogzilla appears on the anchor, proving that there actually is continuity, but only tied to this one character. I gotta do like a whole theory video about this thing. But that's just a theory. An A-tier theory. Thanks for watching. I just keep getting my hopes up. Eating out? How is this not a sex episode? As discussed earlier, Matilda refuses to cook for the flock anymore, so they have to find something to eat for themselves. This leads them to Pig City, where they destroy a dessert just to get one cupcake. Before they can share it, Matilda greedily eats it, and, well, I guess they must just starve to death. I gotta say, the music in this episode was some of the best I've heard. You've got to go watch this one again just to hear it. I found the whole thing to just be really entertaining. I like that Purple Pig just needs to see the helmet, he doesn't care who's wearing it. Now this should without a doubt be A, I get that. It is not top tier, but we've been a little star for S's lately, and if I were to bump any up, it would have to be this one, so you're welcome, Toons. The pigs actually did it! They got an egg! Now it's time for the Great Eggscape. The Secret Service pig uses each of the castle's hidden traps to stop Red so they can escape with the egg. King Pig licks all over the eggs to taunt Red. They lock themselves in a rocket ship, but it turns out King Pig isn't licking egg, he's licking ass. You were so close, King Pig. I really enjoyed this one too. Seeing their plan was to actually bring an egg back is pretty fun. Red is always just one step behind them, which makes the chase pretty epic. Heck, I'm feeling generous tonight. S tier. Oh, sorry guys. Didn't see you there. Yeah, I was just watching the episode Sleep Like a Hog, and I almost fell asleep, but thankfully it was a pretty entertaining episode. King Pig can't sleep, so Professor Pig tries a few different solutions, but ultimately follows Corporal Pig's advice and beats him with a mallet instead. I like Professor Pig getting his first big role, I like seeing King Pig get high and Dogzilla again somehow, and I just liked it. Not S this time, but still good. A tier. Hello, Bombina. Seducing Matilda didn't work, so the pigs try Bomb next. It really is working, but the pigs start messing around and they blow up their whole supply. Bomb gets back at Corporal Pig by making a sexy pig bomb, and the episode ends. If only Bombina were real. I hope someday she will be mine. But she can't be, she's dead, and she's never coming back. Freak off, Angry Birds. For messing with my heart, you get a C tier this time. I'm sorry, this episode is called Pig Possessed, not Obsessed. And honestly, I'm glad I was wrong. That sounds like an awesome episode. It starts with this voodoo pig, and I think this is like the only real female pig we've seen, like ever. She's the Smurfette of the bad piggies, I guess. Either way, King Pig messes up her tent, so she seemingly puts a curse on him. They attempt to do an exorcism with a shaman and everything. I gotta say, the way the crown splits out like that genuinely creeps me out a bit. I saw the twist coming from a mile away where he's just choking on a chicken leg, but it still was pretty funny to watch. My favorite part is when everyone is on fire and panicking, so Chancellor Pig checks the instructions just to see that that's part of the process. I gotta say S, awesome episode. Again, as much as I'd like for this to be an epic sex-off, it's sadly all about saxophones. What an incredible finale to the season! Matilda has a battle of the saxes with some sax-addicted pig. Matilda obviously wins in the end, but she really does deserve it. The way they do it is pretty cool. Matilda keeps playing more complex, better sounding music, while the pig plays the same catchy tune but with flashier lights. Honestly, I kinda like the pig's music better though, sorry Matilda. Some people are just really good with sax, and other people could use some work. Actually, some people are just more sexually appealing, or at least that's what I was told in my sax ed class. Huh? What, you don't think I've had sax? I've had sax! I've had plenty of sax! I've had sax with your mom, dude! I'll put my thumb through your eye! Sorry, I'm just really passionate about saxophones. As a finale, this was fine, but compared to most episodes, I'd have to say C. Well, we've done it. Season 2 is over. There were a lot of really great ones in this season too, which actually kinda sucks because looking at our combined lists, yikes, can you even read A tier anymore? It's not my fault these tunes are all A tier, it's Angry Birds' fault for not making more D tiers. Well, this is weird to say, but I'd honestly love to see a bunch of D's and S in this final season. Well, only one way to find out. Let's finish this thing. Hold up. This sax guy from the last episode's name is Trump Pig? I am not even kidding right now. I'm referring to the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. This guy doesn't even look like Trump. What the actual freak, dude? I take back everything I said about your sax appeal, bro. You better hope this episode is good because you are starting pretty dang low right now. Trump Pig buys a golden egg that King Pig really wants, so he breaks into Trump Pig's house to take it from him. They hold his wig hostage and steal the egg. But would you look at that, these things are so common that everyone has them. Whoop-de-doo. The only good joke was trying to get through the doggy door but just breaking the whole door down instead. Screw you, Trump. D tier. I officially got to this point in the video when it finally dawned on me that this whole video might get deleted and serve me a copyright strike. So let's really put our all into this last season. If we're gonna go out, we gotta at least go out with a bang, right? Bad Hair Day starts Chuck off with gray hair? So he feels and acts super old. When the eggs are stolen, the Blues show him the prank, and he saves the day. And look at that, the same prank works on the Blues too? Wow, deja vu? Nope, just Boulder Bro again. Try being original next time. F tier. Oh boy, Goldilocks, my favorite fantasy character. I just can't wait to see how Angry Birds tackles this one. So Goldie Charters wants the perfect porridge, the perfect slingshot, there we go, and perfect bed. Other than the creepy birds and Grandma Terence, this was literally just Goldilocks. WTF Angry Birds. Actually, get rid of the W and the T. Just F. I hate old westerns. Cowboys, hate 'em. Boy cows, love 'em. A Fistful of Cabbage? Well, I don't know yet. I guess I gotta watch the episode and find out. King Pig is inspired to be a cowboy, but he gets carried away and locks everyone in town up. He runs into actual villains, gets scared and throws himself in jail instead. The ending sucks, where everyone just eats a bunch of cabbage and King Pig licks some keys. Best of the season though, surprisingly. B tier. It's me, Dracula, here to rank my favorite episode of Angry Birds Toons. Porkula. The King Pig wants to suck Bubbles' blood, but Bubbles only has air? I guess? And then everyone becomes were-boars. That's actually pretty cool. I wish the whole episode was about that. Meh. A 1. A 2. A C. Oh boy, have I been waiting for them to do a didgeridoo episode. I feel like that's the theme for this whole season so far. Like, what is up with these episode concepts? Chuck sucks at it, but Bomb rules, and Chuck is of course jealous. Now with that phone-in recap, you might think this one sucked, but it's really not too bad. The end is definitely the best, where Chuck swallows an accordion so Bomb can't play it, so he just plays Chuck instead. Gotta say, A tier. In the portrait, King Pig wants a cool portrait of himself fighting the birds. Honestly, the only part I didn't like was getting mooned by the king. The silly antics of trying to take the photo were pretty enjoyable. I love the lore that every king before him got the eggs. That's a fun idea. The final picture is really funny too. I love how long he is. No way this is on the same level of the top tier episodes, but you did good. A tier. Chuck breaks the slingshot, and now Terence is forcing him to fix it. It starts off okay, Chuck just keeps screwing up, but Terence watching him really bugs Chuck, so he tries to cover him up, only for Terence to teleport behind him. God, I just love Terence so much. Chuck messes up bad and dies in the resulting fire. When he wakes up, Terence has built the ultimate slingshot. What an awesome episode. It's always fun to hate Chuck when Terence is around. The portrait walks so Fix It could run. S tier, baby. Great, back to watching old people again, my favorite pastime. If I wanted to do that, I'd go hang out in a nursing home, Angry Birds. Jeez, it's not like we just did this a few episodes ago. Corporal Pig uses an aging potion on the birds so he can steal the eggs. They shoot a bunch in the air to celebrate, hit themselves, and then they are all old and dumb. The episode ends with them all still old and on the verge of death, so I guess this is what the rest of Season 3 is now. Who am I kidding, they hate continuity. I really do like Bomb's elderly design, probably mostly just because he does this. It was a boring episode, but there were enjoyable moments. Would have been better if it was a Chef Pig episode, I bet. C tier. Today Mustache Pig is catching the blues. Or just one blue. Apparently he doesn't know there's 3. Psh, rookie. Probably never even heard of Stinky Steve either. The blues prank him and that's that. Didn't hate it, D tier. Oh man, our last Christmas episode. The birds and the pigs want the same tree, but after fighting for it they learn to share it. The ending is actually really nice where they both just open their presents. It's a good little moment to cherish since we're about halfway through the final season now. But we gotta stop or I'll get copyrighted. Screw you, Rovio. But I won't punish the episode for that. B tier. Red is so angry that Matilda tries to teach Red to be a happy hippie. He accidentally hurts her and finally gives into just making weird noises, really. Then Matilda gets mad and beats up Red. The scene where Red is just uncontrollably angry and frothing at the mouth is just really entertaining. The hippie stuff is just annoying to me though. C tier. My prediction is this one will be F tier. It's called Mind the Pony and has the worst title card. Let's see if I'm right. Well, right off the bat, the majority of this episode is an epic chase scene, so it's already better than like 90% of these. Chuck and Bomb and even the pigs destroy the entire city, but they go too far when they break a pony toy. The trial scene is really funny, where they just sentence to serve time by fixing the pony and all the stuff they broke. Wow, I was wrong. Don't judge a book by its cover, I suppose. An epic chase scene, funny jokes, and an unexpected ending are all you need to get S tier. Didn't we do this already? No, I don't mean Bombina. I mean Operation Opera. You can only do the fake bird thing so many times before it gets old. This time, Matilda's kidnapped so Robo-Tilda can steal the eggs. Matilda's nurturing to the pigs, so they let her go, and when Jim fries himself, that's some classic Jim right there. Robo-Tilda sucks at helping. Matilda saves the eggs, pigs worship Robo-Tilda, and everyone's happy. Except for me! I would like a good episode now, please! F tier. Guess we're doing wrestling again. We see the grand return of El Porkador, and the sweet cheeks. What an episode! King Pig wants to wrestle just like El Porkador, but loses badly. He gets his own wrestler toy though, so he's happy. I didn't expect him to lose, but I'm glad he did, and the toy ending was pretty nice too. I'd say this is probably the most enjoyable a wrestling episode could be. I really wasn't expecting to like it so much, so what the heck, S tier. It would be pretty dang cool to get an Angry Birds space reference here, but sadly it's much lamer than that. The Blues prank Chuck with a bunch of alien hoaxes, but Chuck beats them and they all have a laugh about it. Then Red gets abducted for real, and probably probed, like really probed. Like that's too far even for me probed. So that's messed up. Probably one of the better Blues pranking episodes though. B tier. Not once have we seen this freaking butler, and you're trying to convince me he's been here the whole time? Tough luck. The whole episode is old-fashioned way versus new cool way, and the ending is a literal poop joke, which means there really isn't an ending, which is very strange. This really might be one of the worst episodes in the entire show. Easy F tier. It's just sad, really. Chuck watches as Bomb just lets the pigs get stolen, so Chuck has to go and save them. Wait, stop! What is that? Who is that? I know Chef Pig appears later, but what the freak do you think you're doing introducing some what? Cook hog? Baker boar? Pig? Patissier? Yes, that's French. I hate it too. I will not forget this. I'll move on, but don't think for a second you're off the hook. The eggs get squashed, and the crying scene is so over the top that it's pretty entertaining. But he runs into more pigs with more eggs. He saves a crazy amount of eggs until he notices what happened. And everything I like about the episode is ruined by the ending. Such a dumb and annoying way to end it. I really like the middle, but the fake chef and ending put this at a D. Wow, two things I cannot relate to. Well, it's the overdone too short to ride trope that offers nothing more than the sweet, sweet cheeks. I don't know what came over me. Those are some dang sweet cheeks though. Their solution weirds me out too, with his massive head bump making him tall enough to ride. Boring. F tier. What would happen if a magician made King Pig disappear? Who knows? I really wish they went further with the idea. We only get to see one solution to get him back. Each pig slowly getting dragged into the box is pretty fun though. I am sad we don't get to see where they're disappearing to, but it's still a pretty fun episode. King Pig is just really entertaining in this one. A tier. Oh no, not more shipping in my freaking children's show. It's the most cursed ship of all. Matilda and Gulp King Pig. It is fun seeing them send every possession they had to one another, and this is like the first time we see King Pig think of anyone but himself. Sadly this ain't Romeo and Juliet, and she shoves him into a bottle. Perfect ending, honestly. I've changed my mind. I'm King Tilda all the freaking way now. I do feel like they ripped off Romeo and Juliet a little though. That movie really has a great original story that gets copied surprisingly often. Still, you squeak out an A tier, just barely. We've made it through 100 episodes, and if you're not sick of listening to me yet, I don't know how, cause man, editing this thing has been rough. Plus I'm literally sick, so we're almost through, and to celebrate we get the fan favorite butler back, as well as the hated fake chef. King Pig wants to do a murder mystery, but isn't very good at solving it. He thinks the fake chef did it? I do too! Lock him up! Lock him up! A window washer sees this out of context, King Pig is left holding the weapon, and the tiny little pig in his brain starts working and he figures out the mystery. Great episode, seriously. It probably is an S, but we'll give A tier a break and put it there anyways. Most modern horror movies don't even compare to the Stalker episode of Angry Birds Toons. Just look at that face. Whoa! No! Oh, this is freaky. Turns out he just wanted to get the crap off of King Pig's butt. He's still a creep though. Very enjoyable episode, but I feel we're putting it in S. A tier. I don't understand the title. Photo chucked? Is Chuck a stand-in for the fuck word again? And if so, what does that even mean? Should it be photo bombed? Come on, Angry Birds, you have a character named Bomb. You were so close. Matilda just wants to take a picture of her flowers, but every time Chuck sneaks in. It's pretty funny just seeing Chuck's face come out of that camera every time. At the end, he tries to take a nice picture for her, and he doesn't even realize that he's done it again. But that's Chuck for you. I'm kind of realizing this is the last we're going to see of Chuck, last of Matilda. Bomb and Blues are already gone. Red has barely been here all season, which is pretty nuts. And that's just really sad. But hey, this is a really nice send-off to Chuck and Matilda's characters. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. S tier. I really came around on Chuck, huh? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is it! Chef Pig's last Spotlight episode. Can he do it? Can he go out with a bang? Bake on! Oh my god, I just got the joke after saying it. Shows Chef Pig trying to train some apprentices. They seem really bad, but King Pig loves bad food. It is so freaking funny watching him rub the cake all over his body. And I really can't believe this, but somehow this explains where Chef Pig has been. This random pig gets a chef hat, and he goes and freaking dies in a bread basket. I was not expecting to find out how this wannabe chef got in here, but that's pretty cool. But man, it sucks that this is the final Chef Pig episode. He started off as a crazy cool villain, but hardly a chef, and at the end it basically took a complete 180. It's sad, but I suppose it makes sense. I'll always love you, Chef Pig, and your final episode will go in B. As the grand spanking finale, put your feathers, pig hoofs, and sweet cheeks together for toy hoggers. More like toy poggers, am I right? Oh wait, I already said that. They sure do love their King Pig episodes, and Terence is a fan favorite too, so it makes a lot of sense as their finale. King Pig ditches his favorite toy, but after regretting it, he finds that Terence has it. The funniest way this could escalate is to make it a hostage situation, which of course they do. They offer Terence everything, so King Pig makes the move to give him his crown. Wow, what a cool finale that would be. Terence is the new king of the pigs. But nah, Terence doesn't want that. Terence wants an officially licensed Angry Birds movie Terence plush. I was honestly pretty shocked looking at that. Let's watch that final scene together. That was magical. Well done, Angry Birds Toons. I might be feeling happy or sentimental or whatever, but I thoroughly enjoyed that episode. S tier. What is it that makes Angry Birds Toons so special? Well, there's kind of a lot of things. Their ability to convey so many emotions, jokes, and stories without any real dialogue is crazy impressive. The ability to translate the shape, color, and power of these birds from a mobile game to characters with personalities and character traits is really expertly executed. The myriad of episodes and plots that completely differ from one another and, for the most part, continue to be entertaining for over 100 episodes is just magical. And that's just the word. Magical. These characters have come to life. They mean so much more to me now. Going back and playing one of those games, I can't help but see Red as a protective, caring parent. I can't help but see Chuck as an egotistical jerk-ass, Matilda a hippie mom, the Blues smug bratty kids, and King Pig a messy slop of a man-child. Well, I guess he is a fat green pig. But the point remains. This show made the Angry Birds series mean something more than it ever would have before. This isn't just simply because there are stories and character traits. We've seen that attempt that with the movies. And, well, those just really can't compare. I still love the movies too, but they're not even on the same level. Angry Birds Toons is quite possibly one of the greatest things to come out of the Angry Birds franchise, and is undoubtedly one of the best animated video game series. That isn't just the nostalgia talking. I rewatched all of these. You've seen them now too. They're just so incredible. Well, you know, most of them. Really incredible. So in conclusion, I'm happy the series ended after 3 seasons. Yes, I would have loved to see more, but they fully ran the course of what they could do, and to be honest, they probably should have just quit after the sex episode. Man, can you believe I've gone this long without talking about the sex episode? Sorry, let's wrap up. Angry Birds Toons was, is, and always will be amazing. I'll be showing it to my firstborn child as they exit the womb. What the Thank you so freaking much for watching. I have no doubt Angry Birds fans are going to love revisiting this stuff, but I really appreciate it if you watch all the way through. There are, of course, more animated series that Angry Birds made, with the most notable ones being Piggy Tales and Angry Birds Stella. If you want to see me cover those too, just let me know. Join my Discord, yada yada yada. Member time! Thank you to Groth One Finger, who's really leveled up with that blue icon. Looking sharp. Cobalt Chrome E, who looks pretty sick with that red, but man, that's going to be sweet with the blue one. And who could forget Patrick, who's just pretty jealous with that black one. Everyone give a warm welcome to Honomaki? I'm so sorry. Hopefully it's Honomaki. Hanomaki? I don't know. Thank you so much for becoming a member. If you'd like to become a member and get free shoutouts and stuff like that, if you want to see more videos like this and help me if I potentially lose this video to copyright strikes or something, then please consider becoming a member. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye. It doesn't today.